Okay, hello everyone. Good morning. So, how are you today? How are you feeling? So, now I would like to welcome you to our personal development class. So, for today, we'll be focusing on week 5, and this is all about aspects of personal development. So, before we'll dig into our discussion for this morning, I want to show you a short video and I want you to focus. I want you to understand and reflect on this video and try to answer the questions afterwards. So, are you ready? Glass of water. Okay, so that will be the video. So, what can you say about the video? What lesson did you get from the video? Of course, all of us have worries and stresses in life, and it represents the glass of water. The questions are, how much or how long will you hold a glass of water? Your worries and your stresses in life. Now, another question is that, how will you handle or how did you handle your worries and stresses in life? So, what do you think is our topic for this morning? Yes, it's all about stress. So, our topic for this morning, coping with stress in middle and late adolescence. So, before we will proceed to our discussion, I would like to remind you of our objectives. First, identify causes and effects of stress in one's life. Second, demonstrate personal ways of coping with stress and maintain mental health. So that's it. Now, let us have an activity. So this activity is known to be as Yes, I Care. So I will show you a life event of a grade 11 student who needs help on how to cope with her situation. Her name is Christine. So Christine, a grade 11 general academic strand senior high school student, has received her second quarter written test results in all her academic subjects, where she scored lower than the passing percentage. Her first quarter performance was splendid. When she was called by her advisor about the poor performance, she revealed that she finds it difficult to understand her lessons and did not make it in the test because she was sad and hopeless. She just lost her mother and she finds difficult to move on. She needs to take care of her four younger siblings and do the household chores. Her father works in the city and goes home once a month. She doesn't know what to do. In fact, there was a moment when she wanted to take her own life, if not for her younger siblings. Tears came down from Christine's eyes. The pains are so intense. The yearnings of her mother's embrace is so evident, and the cries of the little soul who is uncertain of what lies ahead breaks everybody's heart. So that's the life event of Christine. That's her situation. Now, the question is, first, what causes Christine's poor academic performance for the second quarter of the academic year? And second one is, if you were Christine's classmate and friend, what would you do to comfort and help her out of misery? So, in answering these questions, I would like you to answer this one in a one whole sheet of bond paper, and you will submit this one during the schedule for the answer sheet retrieval. Now, so as we go on with our discussion, these questions will be answered, or known as the processing questions. First, what is stress and the difference between stress as a stimulus, as a response, and as a relational? Second is, what are the different types of stress? And the third one, as teenagers, what are the challenges you encountered and how you cope with these challenges? So again, our topic is all about stress. So what is stress? So stress is the reaction of the mind and body to a stimulus that disturbs the well-being, state of calm, or equilibrium of a person. So meaning, before you felt those problems, you are not that stressed yet, right? So you are feeling the stress that you are feeling right now, but ever since you started experiencing the challenge in your life, then you are more stressed than ever. So, for example, your life was less stress during the vacation, but when you started attending class, then you experienced or you felt more stress. And stress is not just a reaction of the mind, but also a reaction of the body. Hence, sometimes when you're stressed, you feel as if you are weaker than normal. You feel as if you're not so physically capable. That's why, for example, athletes who are exposed to a lot of games or a lot of events, they need to rest from time to time. That's why some athletes, they have what they call load management. So in order for them to preserve their energy, there are certain times wherein they are not allowed to play or they choose not to play, and that's the way they are protecting themselves. So as students, as teenagers, we need also or you need also to have your own load management for you to be able to handle your stress in life, and that we are going through right now or you're going through right now, because it is a challenge not just in our mind but also to our body. And if there's so much stress, then it may lead to a psychological problem or a mental health concern that needs professional intervention. So in dealing with stress, there are different ways on how we view this one. And first of this is stress as a stimulus and a response. So stimulus. So when you say stimulus, these are changes in the environment that brings about a response. So for example, when you feel it's cold, ba? It's the stimulus that signals you to protect yourself from the cold temperature. So, meaning, same goes with stress. So it may be caused by a situations that may be life-threatening or life-changing. So for example, or meaning, not all stress are products of life-threatening situations. Sometimes we can also be stressed by life-changing situations. So example, senior high school graduation. We can consider that one as a happy event because after you graduate, but still, you will face a lot of new challenges, or you may experiencing difficulty in transitioning. And those stimuli from the environment, these are what we call stressors. So it's important for you or for us to identify the stressors that make us feel stress. So stress also is the way the body reacts to challenging situations. So it's not just in this perspective we view stress as a reaction to challenging situations, and that can be physical, or it can be psychological. So for example, when you are being challenged cognitively, when you are, or for example, when you do, you make, of course, when you are challenged, uh, you want to make yourself better, or you're trying to perform better. So for example, during exams, or if you are exercising, you're putting some stress in your body. That's why it is challenged, right? So when we are challenged, or our body is challenged, so we respond by trying to adapt, or by trying to change our performance so that we can deal with the stress. So take note that the stress hormone is known as cortisol. So it is normal for us to have elevated cortisol from time to time. However, it's not healthy to be exposed to stress for a long period of time. Why? Because it may result to permanent brain damage. So meaning we need to learn how to manage the stress. Now, another is stress as relational. So, stress as relational, when a person experiencing stress takes a step back to look at the situation that is causing the stress and assesses it. So, meaning, if you are stressed, it allows you to reassess the situation, reevaluate the situation. So, meaning, instead of looking at it negatively, you may take a look at it positively. Because by changing your thinking, you're also changing the way you feel and the way you behave. So, perhaps it's necessary for you to adopt a positive way of appraising the event so that it will not be a damaging event. So, it is important for us to know that there are events that we can control. So it's important for us also to be reminded that we have the capability to go through the situation instead of simply dealing with the stress, or sometimes it's important for you to step back and reflect first before you attempt to do something with the stressful situation. So dealing with stress, of course, there are different types of stress. So I have here the level of stress. So based on the performance, or of course, we can identify uh, what type of stress does it belong. So it's wrong to say that all types of stress are not helpful, because there are stress, or there are helpful stress, type of stress. So when you are not yet stressed, it starts with, of course, you are calm, no? Sometimes you are bored, or sometimes you feel excited. But if you're excited, it means that you are already entering the threshold. So meaning, for example, you have a game, or you are going to work out in a gym. So then you are excited, and now when you are working, for example, when you are running, or you are taking the exams, at first you feel energized and then feel focused and of course being challenged, and that's what we call eustress. So when we say eustress, this is a positive type of stress. Again, eustress is the positive type of stress. That's why there are people who are proud that they were able to conquer their stress, and it makes them feel, or it makes them a better person, because not all type of stress are bad. Sometimes stress is there to challenge us and to make us better. Next is, if you are exposed to prolonged stress, then that's no longer good, because that's no longer eustress, but rather distress. So when we say distress, that is characterized by fatigue, meaning you're tired, exhausted, and burnout. And we don't want people to experience burnout, specifically in school or at work. Because if you experience burnout, then you're not just tired of what you're doing. You also lose interest in your career or in school. So for example, if you no longer want to go to school or you don't want to go to work because you feel what we call burnout, of course, we do not want you to experience that. So the most important is that how will we manage or how will we deal with these different stresses? So there are common stressors among teenagers or causes of stress. So here, first, we have school demands. So in school demands, like for example, many requirements. So for example, online learning or modular learning. Perhaps you don't have the right resources, or in modules, you do not know or you don't understand what is written, or you could not immediately um, understand the text or what you have read inside the module. So that's the one thing that really gives stress to among students. Then another is selecting a school or college. So in selecting a school or college, of course, we have to remember that we have our guidance counselors who can help us with these career choices or course. No, sometimes we will, of course, assess our strength for us to know what are the causes what are the courses that will fit to our personality. So that's one of the ways they would help us. Same with what happened this semester. We give you career guidance or career guidance manual for you to read, for you to reflect, understand, and also to assess yourself with your strength and weaknesses. So that is very important. And third is separation anxiety. So separation anxiety, of course, it happens when you have to study somewhere else, or but your parents are in another location, meaning you're separated with your family, with your family. Same goes with if you are an adult, you would think that the child will be separated for a long period of time. So that is very stressful, and that's why people get homesick, even those people who goes abroad, right? So one of the common stress that they feel is that this is what we call separation anxiety. Then next is romantic relationship. I think you know this one, especially those uh, learners who have already their girlfriend or boyfriend. Uh, there are, of course, challenges that will happen in your relationship, and these are common stressors, right? Then we proceed to family definitions and expectations. Again, there are learners or students having this situation. Like, for example, in one family, they might say that all of us should be doctors, or all of us should be teachers, lawyers, or You're going to be the first doctor or you're going to be the first accountant in the family. That's very stressful, especially to the side of the student or learners. Then next is health concerns about your body image, your body figures, and etc. And also we have social life, and related to this is bullying, especially in schools. Diba? There are a lot of people feeling the negative effects of bullying, not just when they are in school, but also in their lives in the future. So it might have a permanent effect on the way that you see yourself. So it's important for you to know that you should not be defined by these bullies, but rather you should have a stable self-concept and do not listen to other people, what they are telling or what they are saying about you, especially if they only point out the negative side of your characteristics. That is very important, guys. So that is why in dealing with these people talking negative statements to us, it's for us to be able to control. All you have to do is to not listen to them and be be proud of yourself, no? So in dealing with stress, there are also signs, no, or signals that we can observe to those people who have stresses in life, and these are classified accordingly. So first is physical signs. So what are the physical signs that we can observe for a person having stress? So it could be headache, it could be shoulder pains, stomach ache. Um, feels tired than usual, even if you're getting enough sleep. Dizziness, gaining or losing weight, and other physical signs like jaw pains, not being hungry, getting frequent colds and infections, fast breathing, excessive sleeping. Those are other physical signs. No? Next is emotional signs. Emotional signs like cranky or moody, like getting angrier than usual. You're always angry without, I don't know what happened, but you keep on yelling or you're being angry all the time. Another is feeling sad or feeling down or hopeless. And then another is another is being confused, or another is being aggressive. So other emotional signs like feeling worthless, finding it hard to relax or switch off, feeling that nothing is going right, meaning you have those negative, no, negative thinking, uh, having panic attacks, irritability, thoughts of suicide, and depression. Especially nowadays, there are cases among teenagers of some suicide. No? That's what we are afraid of. That one day, some of teenagers have committed suicide just because of those problems that they could not handle anymore. That is very uh, will it's very painful, especially for the side of the family, no? Family members. And the reason is that he or she could not control his or her emotion. Next is behavioral signs. So like smoking, using alcohol. When you are have a problem, you'll just cry on at the corner. And also we can consider nail biting and compulsive overeating and taking medicine or using medication. So other behavioral signs also pulling hair, compulsive dieting, hair chewing, not caring about physical appearance. So that's these are um, signs of behavioral stress. Then Furthermore, stress can also affect the mental and thinking state, or known as psychological stress, of teenagers. So, changes such as finding it hard to concentrate and stay focused, losing the thread of thoughts or conversation, having trouble remembering things, making snap decisions or errors in judgment, having trouble organizing and planning or making decisions, and getting confused or irrational. These are observed among stressed teenagers. So take note on that if you already have this signs, and you have to deal with it positively. So maybe you can talk with your parents, or you can talk with someone that is uh, you trusted. That's the very important thing to do. So how do we cope with stress? So according to the American Psychological Journal, first is getting enough time to sleep. So after doing your assignments or activities and hanging out with your friends, it can be hard to get enough sleep, especially during school days. But ideally, adolescents must get at least 9 hours of sleep every night. So, however, there is a need to cut back watching TV or engaging in a lot of screen time in the evening to maximize the change sleeping soundly. So, take note on that we have to sleep with enough time. No? The next is focus on your strength. So, focus your time thinking about thinking about the things that you are good at, no, and find ways to do more of those things. So like for example, if you're good at in dancing, then you might as well volunteer as a dance instructor or dance tutor in your school or in the community. So meaning focusing your strengths will help you keep your stresses in perspective. So next is engaging in physical activities. Diba? Even not only in personal development, also engaging in physical activity is very important, and always being tackled in physical education and even in science, right? So we have to take care of our body, and one thing that we will help our body to be more fit or physically fit is for us to engage into physical activities. Why? Because engaging physical activity is considered to be the most effective stress reliever or boosters. So meaning engage in any physical activities you enjoy and build them into your routine. So be the physical activities be part of your um, daily routine. So it could really help to feel relief of all your stresses in life. No, that is very important also. Then fourth is do things that make you happy. So in doing things that make you happy, of course, do whatever you like or you love, like for example, your hobbies, or just by listening to music. If you feel like it relaxes you, or it could really find interesting, then you may do it. No, do things that you make you happy. And last is talk to someone. This is also very important. So you have to talk to someone. So it could be your friends or anyone whom you feel comfortable with, or to trusted adults or trusted people. It helps you manage your stress also. So there are those who felt really relieved when they have shared their stories to trusted friends and adults. That is one thing also that you will practice. No, if you have problems, or if you have um, something that you really could not control, then you may talk to someone that you trusted, of course, and then if they would really give also some good advice, and it really help you to solve your problem. Now, so we will have our activity. So for this activity, again, you will answer this one in one whole sheet of bond paper, and all you have to do is to give your reaction to this statement by Lou Waltz. You can give your um, understanding, or you can explain or reflect on the saying that it's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it. So that's it. So anything that you can say or you can write about this statement by Lou Holtz. For your evaluation, I will just send to you in our group chat or GC the link of a Google form that you will fill up. You just fill it up and you answer the following questions there. And automatically, it will be checked and you'll be able to record who are those that perfect score. Then, after this one, I will give you an assignment. Your assignment is known as Stress Survival Kit. So, in this activity, you will be making your own survival kits that will help you cope with stress within your daily lives. So, what you will do? First, you choose three objects or symbols that make you feel relaxed to include in your kit. So, you can draw this one or you can have pictures. Then think about how this symbol helps you when you are dealing with stress and stressful situations. So you will write a paragraph for each symbol or object in your kit and how it helps you cope with stress in your everyday life. So questions. So I hope um, you you understand our lesson for this morning. And if you have questions or reactions, you can directly send message or in our group chat or GC, you can send the questions or reactions about our topic for this morning. And if I think that's it for all, that's it for today's lesson. And thank you for listening and thank you for your time. And see you on the next video and bye bye.